Let's talk about these damn karmics. I'm gonna tell y'all a little bit about my karmic lessons that I've been through. I already start talking to y'all about my twin flame story. I'm not done with the twin flame story, so don't think it's over. We're only on part two. I know I scrambled up a whole bunch of shit, but yeah, my story has a lot of fucking shit in it. So, you know, I'm bound to just pop up and just, say a whole bunch of shit when I get in the mood to record about it. But it's gonna be there for sure. Once I um get all these twin flame stories in a list, I'm gonna put it in a playlist somewhere. For sure, for sure. When I get it right. But yeah, let's talk about these motherfucking karmic lessons. Damn it. So when I was younger, let me talk to you about the karmics. So I'm gonna talk about the Aquarius. This is why I had a problem with Aquarius. I have been trying to get rid of fucking Aquarius since 2011. But Aquarius has been coming back through other people. And the first Aquarius I was with, I explained that that person was very insecure all the time. Don't ever let an Aquarius tell you that he's not insecure, he's not jealous, and all this fucking crazy shit. Okay. Um, we lived together and everything. Like I said, we used to vibe and everything. But he used to be so moody all the time. The thing I didn't like about him is I couldn't look at nobody. I couldn't speak to nobody. It was just ridiculous. Just for example, if we go into a store together and a male speaks to me like hello, or a man opens up the door for me, or any little stupid shit like that, that motherfucker would be getting mad as hell. He wouldn't say nothing, while it was happening. But when we get back in that motherfucking car, it's a whole conversation coming up about him, you know, watching my actions. What Aquarius do, they watch your actions all the time. They watch how other people view you as well. So he was like, "Oh, I seen you looking at him. I seen him looking at you." You know, I'm like, "What the hell?" I'm like, "I'm with you." So I would find myself always arguing with him about little small shit like that. Another thing, being with a Aquarius, which is a karmic, and they don't have a job or some shit like that, they really get moody, really get crazy. Um, they definitely want a woman that's going to cook for them, do a whole bunch of stuff for them, and everything like that. But his attitude problem, I feel like he didn't really want me around people. He didn't even want me around his own siblings or cousins or anything like that. It's like he was always just insecure. I was like, I didn't even fucking know what was wrong with him. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck happened to him to the point that he is just totally jealous. When I first met him, he told me that he was married to another Sagittarius before he met me, and she had the same birthday as me. And I was like, what the fuck? I wonder why this motherfucking Sagittarius left him. You know what I mean? And they had 3 kids together. So I was trying to be cool with him and everything. And that whole 7 years, I never met his children because his baby mama lived out of town and everything like that. But um, I want to focus again on the karmic cycle. So he got on my nerves. Let me just say he was just an insecure bastard. All right. He had problems with everybody, snappy attitude, nitpicker, idiot. So when I left him, I met another Aquarius. So I'm like, okay. I broke up with him after 7 years and met another one when I moved out of town. So I go to Norfolk, Virginia. I'm from Ohio, so I moved out to Norfolk, Virginia. I'm out there for 5 years. I come in contact with a dude. He's an Aquarius. Let me tell you the first one's birthday. The first one's birthday was January 28th. That's what his birthday was. All right. Now the second motherfucker I met was what was his birthday? January 23rd. So I'm like, I wonder if he's like this other Aquarius, all snappy and fucking crazy or whatever. No, this one wasn't like him. He was another karmic. I didn't learn the karmic lesson. Don't date Aquarius and then date another Aquarius right after that. You know what I mean? Because I was just, living my life and everything. And I'm like, okay, maybe, this is going to work out. Because I see a lot of people do that shit. They meet one sign and then deal with another one just like it. Like, I only date that sign. No, fuck that shit. Don't do that shit to your fucking self. Okay? Because you're going to fucking blow your life up. Okay? You're going to see some of the same shit. But this next Aquarius I was with, he was always, going out all the time, wanting to be seen all the fucking time, overconfident. Um, Sometimes when it came to him dressing up and everything like that, he thought everybody wanted him because he started getting a lot of attention. But in his younger years, he didn't get a lot of attention. He even told me himself, a lot of women didn't want him. He was actually shocked that when he got older, a lot of attractive women started coming towards him. So he had a low self-esteem when he was younger, all through his 20s and shit. But by the 30s, it's like everybody looking at him like he fine or whatever the fuck. So when I was with him, I'm going to tell you the type of people that he cheated on me with. I don't know what the first Aquarius cheated on me with, but the second Aquarius, for sure, cheated on me with another Aquarius, which he said was his best friend. And every time he break up with women, she was there to communicate with him and be by his side. Me and him got into it one day. He called that Aquarius female friend, and he also had sex with that friend. What I notice again about Aquarius women, they are attracted to masculine looking females. They be looking at females that, look manly and shit. So I was like, damn, I'm like, I know what I look like, but why she look like a man? Okay. She look like a man with boobs at this point. Okay. Hard face, all that, you know. Or I noticed that he liked women that was shaped like a turkey. Okay. Big, big, round butts, turkey butts with big shoulders. So I was like, okay, that's what he want. So he cheated on me with a fucking Aquarius female like himself. And then he cheated on me with a motherfucking Libra female as well. Shit. The Libra, she was his cougar. Okay, so she was about 10 years older than him or whatever. 10, 15, I don't fucking know, but she was older than him. She was married probably twice before or something. She had about 7 kids or some shit. He liked her because he grew up, having childhood issues or whatever. His parents were never married. His mother was floozy. So he felt like she was going to be the one to answer his prayers to bring family together and shit. He's like, oh, I love how our family comes together. Oh, she owns a restaurant. She does this, she does that. First week of him dating her, he got beat up by her fucking ex-boyfriend soon as he tried to enter her home. So karma, instant karma. Um, Aquarius can be very sneaky. I remember one time I was chilling, I was at home or whatever, and I live right across the street. I lived across the street from a 7-Eleven one time. I actually seen dude like walk out of the house, go across the street, and meet up with a Libra. So I was like, what the fuck was good? You know what I mean? And I'm like, who is that parked across the street? He was like, oh, that's Linda. Oh, that's my friend or whatever, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, he doing this shit right in front of me. Or his phone used to ring a lot of times. And then I would see actually her face and her phone number come up. And he used to be like, oh, cool. Like it was nothing. Oh, that's just my friend, blah, 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 blah. So that was like, it was too many strikes coming up at this point. Me and him had fell out. We were living together. At that point, I was losing feelings. He had already broke my heart, and I was like, fuck you. And he came at me and was like, I'm not in love anymore. I said, okay, I'm not in love anymore either, you know. And there's even more to this story. This is like the end of the fucking story. But while we were dealing with each other, we was vibing all the fucking time. We were going places all over the places. We was always going out to eat, hitting up every motherfucking hotel, going out, going every fucking where. Anything we could do, we was doing it together. Parks, pools, bars, beaches, whatever the fuck it was. So, I mean, I noticed that he had came at me and he was like, he was like, I know that we just got into a relationship and we're exclusive now. I want to tell you that you're gonna have to give me a little time for me to clear out my phone of these old bitches, these exes and shit. This is when we first got in the relationship. He was like, man, he was like, I know that people gonna still be calling me and stuff, man. You gotta chill out a little bit, you know, because I don't know if they're gonna be calling like that. So just know this nigga had a fucking Virgo fucking he was Aquarius with a Virgo North Node, Sagittarius Moon, Sagittarius Venus, and a fucking Taurus motherfucking rising. Y'all better jot this shit down. Listen. So he was on his player shit, okay? This motherfucker used to like to dress up in all white, you know, put the little pimp hat on, go to the club. You know, he was one of them. I thought he was attractive. I thought he had a face like a model or whatever the fuck. I was always attracted to people that were very, you know, attractive. You know, I couldn't fucking wake up to an ugly motherfucker. So that's just me. You know what I mean? I done done that before. Everybody been with an ugly ass bitch before I have, and that motherfucker still cheated. So let's get back on the point on this shit right here. Let's get back on this fucking Aquarius shit. So I didn't learn the karmic lesson of being up with an Aquarius. You know, I was like, let me see if this next Aquarius is on some real shit. So he didn't show too much insecurity. Let me see if he showed some. I feel like he did once I left him. That's when he showed insecurity. It wasn't like the other one. So I said, okay, you doing all this shit. You know, you doing a whole bunch of motherfucking shit. So what I did to him is I left his dusty ass. I left him. I used to think he was so fine, but then I was like, oh no, 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 no. The looks, he's trying to use his looks against me to go find other motherfuckers. So I left him with that Libra, I left him with the Aquarius, and then he turned around and said he had a baby on the way by a fucking Taurus. And then he come to find out the baby wasn't even his. So I left his ass. And I moved out of town to the point that he couldn't even get in contact with me no more, you know. And then, y'all, oh my fucking goodness. He was so mad at me. He was cussing me out, blaming everything on me. Like, you did this, you did that. I was like, you know what? You were doing stuff right in front of me. But he was trying to make me feel guilty for stuff I wasn't even doing. I mean, where are you coming up with all this stuff? I'm like, you were never home. You know, you were just never, I mean, when you were home, you wasn't home because you would be locked up in a fucking room, listening to your music in your zone, headphones, doing you or whatever, only being bothered with me when you felt like being bothered with me because that's what Aquarius do. They know how to shut motherfuckers completely the fuck out like they're invisible. So I was done. And I'm going to tell you how this Aquarius energy kept coming towards me over and over again. I'm like, what the fuck? I said, I got to meet somebody else. So that's how I ended up going towards my false twin too. But before the false twin came in, I'm gonna say that I met an Aries male before that false twin energy came in. So the Aries was a karmic too. Okay, he was pretty much a karmic from another motherfucking karmic too, because I had already been with a motherfucking Aries. So I'm telling you, the energies will follow you around. Like when you dealt with a certain sign already, they will come back through another motherfucker to teach you the motherfucking lesson. So I was just like, what the fuck? I already been with an Aries before when I was motherfucking 23 years old. That motherfucking Aries that I was with was fucking jailbait. That motherfucker went to jail. That motherfucker was on motherfucking drugs and didn't even fucking tell me that he was sniffing motherfucking boy up his motherfucking nose. And then, listen, y'all don't even know the fucking half. Have you ever dated a motherfucker and you didn't even know they was doing some fucking type of drugs? I'm not just talking about no regular weed shit, okay? We talking about some fucking real shit. The motherfucker was hiding it from me and everything else. And when I found out he was on drugs, I just left his ass alone. But he ended up getting locked up for trying to rob somebody, the Aries, because of Aries, you know, they got crazy attitudes and stuff. You know, trying to punk motherfuckers and, you know, trying to boss them around, whatever the fuck he was doing. Running the streets, robbing people, you know, selling drugs, whatever the fuck he was doing. So I was done with that first Aries, but I had met a second karmic with the same Aries energy. The first one's birthday was probably like probably April, probably around April 4th or something. This other one probably around the 6th or 7th or some shit. But Yeah, I met an Aries before I met my false twin. So, yeah, when I got with the Aries was like, oh, you don't need to be with this Aquarius and everything. Or you need to come kick it with me and everything. So I started kicking it with him and everything. And I was like, do you got a job? He like, yeah, I got a job, blah, blah, blah. Come to find out, this is his side job. And this motherfucker is on some type of government assistance and shit. Okay. So this is the younger me wanting to slap the shit out of me. When I was younger, dealing with people and I was just looking at the situation like, okay, he lied to me. He didn't want me to think he was on Social Security. Told me he had a job. Come to find out he's doing body work on the side. Okay, getting paid up under the table. His dad was abusive. He was abusive. I actually seen his dad beat somebody's ass. I mean, beat his girlfriend's ass in front of me. And then I started seeing the Aries get reckless with me and getting out of control and fucking having a crazy temper towards me. And then the reason why I broke up with the Aries is because before he met me, he was engaged to an older woman, cougar. So now I'm like, okay, the karmic cougar shit is coming in too. So I always meet a guy that wants to be with older women. First Aries wanted to be with an older woman. Second Aries wanted to be with an older woman. They come in with the opportunist energy. So it's like, okay, thank you for wasting my time. So, man, so as I look at the situation, I'm like, okay, this other Aries, he was like playing a whole bunch of fucking games, like he was still texting people online. Like back in the day, we had shit like Moco Space or whatever the fuck it was, or fucking tag.com, plenty of fish, all that fucking stupid shit. So yeah, he was on there playing around and shit, watching people on there, some of them playing games on tag and stuff. I just bought this girl, blah, 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 blah. So it's like a whole bunch of stuff was going on. Always texting, always playing video games, always drinking. Aries, the first Aries I was with, he wasn't a drinker. Second one, total alcoholic and was just drinking too much. So when people be like, oh, Aries is not the same or whatever, whatever. Yeah, this one drank, but the other one didn't. I get it. But yeah, getting back to the fucking story, he was abusive, verbally abusive. He didn't get along with his mother. His mother was a fucking Jehovah fucking Witness. I'm sitting there like, what the fuck is this? Because I don't know what that's about because I wasn't raised like that. They were really like from the country and stuff like that. I was just trying to get to know him, but he just pretty much still was texting his ex. She still had the fucking engagement ring that he gave her, and he told me she still had it. And then next thing I know, I go for a trip out of town to my hometown, and then when I get online on Facebook, I actually see him posting pictures of her on his Facebook, and I'm even seeing my stuff in the background. She's at his crib. And are you dumb enough to post this stuff online so I can see it? So me and him just had a really, really bad breakup. Then I met my false twin. People be like, why you date so many motherfuckers? Because these motherfuckers is fucked up and I'm trying to find the one. So at that point, I was still doing tarot and everything. I was on YouTube. I was on TAWANA'S horoscopes, the old fucking channel or whatever. And me back then, I wasn't really looking at my cards. I was looking at everybody else's shit. I wasn't focused on looking at my shit. So I was like really just living my life day to day. As a reader, you should never stop looking at your shit. Like I keep telling you. So here I go, trying to figure out what's going to happen with me next. I run into my false twin, not knowing that he was my false twin at the time. And like I said, me and my false twin also showed me that, I knew that he could have been possibly karmic, but the old me did not care about looking at my cards. So it was like, I found out that he had the same fucking energy of the last Aquarius, which had that Taurus rising. So the new person that I was dealing with, which is the false flame, he was the Taurus. Aquarius rising. He was actually backwards. It was backwards. Like, what the fuck? Like, okay, instead of his rising being there, his sun is there. So, what the fuck? I said, they're starting to remind me of each other. Everybody know that I sing and everything. Yeah, I fucking sing. I've been singing since I was 5 years old. That is something that it might have attracted me to these two people because both of them could sing. And when I say that Aquarius could sing and the Taurus could sing, so it was like, oh yeah, these motherfuckers sound like Usher and shit. Okay, these motherfuckers sound like Usher and motherfucking Tyrese and all type of shit. These motherfuckers can sing your drawers off. So it was like it was something about that got me, and it fooled me too. It fooled me real, real bad because I always wanted a male that could sing because I sing and shit. You know what I mean? So it was crazy. Um, I used to just be crushing. That's all I can say. When you find yourself crushing too hard, you really need to check yourself for real because that was another whole karmic cycle coming right into my face, coming into play, and I didn't even fucking know it. It's like I was ignoring it, and I was like, okay, so let's see where this is going to go because you never know, who's false, who's real. In the beginning, you're just playing along. Me and this false flame, we start texting each other and shit on fucking Facebook. He's like, I've been looking at you for years. I'm like, I've been looking at you for years too, my bro. Like, what's up? Like, we about to get it in. Like, what we about to do? When am I gonna hook up with you? Like, I'm about to grill and shit. You about to come over? Like, let's do this. Let's get this shit right. When you gonna pull up? I was on it. Moving fast. Like a fire flame does. Like we be out here, we be moving. You know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, let me see how this shit gonna hit off. I'm like, this motherfucker sexy. I know I'm gonna tear that shit up in the bed. I already know I'm gonna fuck the shit out of this motherfucker when I get with this one. So you know how Sagittarius be. We already know we gonna fuck the shit out of a motherfucker before we even get in the bed with them. We be like, shit, that shit about to hit. Especially if we attracted to somebody, we be like, yeah, we got this shit. Like for real, this motherfucker about to be saying my motherfucking name. God damn it. So yeah. So I told dude, I was like, motherfuckers used to think that we used to fuck with each other back in the day. It was actually rumors of us messing around back in the day, but we never even touched each other. And I'm like, yeah, like, if we would have had sex, that shit would have been bomb. Like that shit would have been straight. And he agreed. He was like, yeah, fuck yeah, I would have fucked the shit out of your motherfucking ass. Like for real, for real. So we was vibing with the sexual chemistry and shit. Sexual chemistry was off the fucking chain. I'ma say with the Aquarius, those two Aquarians that were karmics, sex on point. Attitudes, shitty. The Taurus with the Aquarius rising, that motherfucker right there, sex on point, cheating ass bitch. Okay? So, yeah, we got to vibing and stuff, starting to get to know each other better. We had a lot of friends of friends. We really didn't want motherfuckers knowing that we was fucking with each other because we had a lot of friends of friends. And coming from a small city, people they kind of felt like we liked each other, but when you're in a small city, you didn't went to school with everybody know you and all this other stuff. So we really didn't, want to fuck with each other too hard like that. We was keeping it on the low a little bit, you know. But as things move forward, I got a crib. I had moved back into town, so I was like, let me get my new crib or whatever. Got my crib, and he started coming over all the time, like chilling or whatever. But I noticed his narcissist ass, playing a little bit of head games, friend zone games, and um, money games too. Shit, motherfucker wanted money. I hate to see a broke ass motherfucking fuckboy try to come at a female and try to get money. Like now that shit right there. I'm like, what kind of fucking energy is this, goddammit? Because you ain't about to be asking me for shit. A motherfucker come in your crib and they start asking for shit. Um, I know that you drink. You got a bottle up in here? Like you got a bottle? Oh, I ain't get paid yet. You got some weed? So he started asking for shit all the fucking time. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, this is a bring your own bottle situation, motherfucker. Like, you're not about to be just popping up at my crib thinking that everything is on deck. So it became a habit, and he's just started, looking around, looking for shit. He knew I was a cook, so he was expecting a meal on the plate. So I'm like, this motherfucker looking for a maid, or this motherfucker is looking for somebody that's gonna, give him whatever the fuck he needs on deck. And I'm like, nah, we talking about 2015, man, 15, 16. And I was like, wanting to have fun and stuff. And, you know, back then I would say, um, I never really had a sexual addiction or anything like that. But, everybody likes fucking sex or whatever. I was just trying to have fun and, do what I do. But in the process of that, I was kind of like falling in love and stuff. Like, oh, I like this Taurus, this Aquarius rising Taurus or whatever. And at first, I didn't even have his birth time. See, he lied to me at first and was like, I don't really know my birth time. And he told me a different birth time. And I thought he was a Capricorn rising the whole fucking time. And I was like really not liking that energy. And I was like, it's something about this. I'm like, he don't really act like Capricorn. So I was like, man, where's your birth certificate? Like, let me see that motherfucker, man. I seen the motherfucker, and the goddamn dude's time of birth was fucking 1:30 p.m. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta do this shit over. When I did it over, that's when I found out that there was an Aquarius rising there, Cancer Moon, Cancer Venus, Leo North Node. I don't know the whole chart because I ain't even try to look at it recently, but yeah. I thought I was all pumped up and shit because I had a Scorpio moon, Scorpio Venus, and I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, cool. We're gonna be vibing on the moons and shit. Okay, the Venuses and the moons and shit, but really, that shit was messed up. Really, it was the worst. It was really bad instead. It was really the opposite. It was really the worst misery that I experienced. Too much water. Too much. Yeah, it was just too much, and I didn't like it. I felt like it was too much to bear. Yep. Because sometimes when you are dealing with a water situation, you be thinking that yeah, we're gonna be cool. We're gonna be cool because we're gonna be feeling each other. We both gonna be psychic and everything else. I was the only motherfucking spiritual person in the situation. That motherfucker was totally like in reverse twice. Okay, so I'm like, ooh, this motherfucker's dark. He likes to use dark energy instead of light energy. And everything that I say spiritual, he's just cutting it down like a knife. I'm like, oh yeah, let me go do my readings, my tarot readings and stuff. And he's like, tarot, you do tarot, da 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 da. I'm getting mad like a motherfucker. Like, oh man, like I don't believe in that, man. Like I wasn't raised like that, man. Like you need to stop doing that, man. Like he was on a whole bunch of stuff like that, and I was just like, nah, you're not about to kick off my spiritual side. He was totally against it. What he wasn't against is trying to take money from me, because he was like, you got a reading coming up or something? Like, like especially if he was broke or something, he'd be like, oh, how your business going and stuff. Like, motherfucker, don't come over here as a fucking leech, motherfucker. Like, I put in a lot of hard work on my channel, and you're not about to be sitting up here trying to feel like, you can use me because I have a spiritual gift, okay? But you're against it though. So I'm like, okay, that's where that Cancer energy had popped in. I'm like, Cancer can definitely be users. That's their dark side. They could be spiteful and they could be users. So I was like, oh, this motherfucker gotta go. So I made a mistake of reading him. telling him about himself, telling him about his placements and stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, you got a Taurus, you got a Taurus sun, Aquarius risings, Cancer moon and stuff. Like, I was telling him about his placements, and he was like, man, I don't really believe in that. Like, and I was just trying to explain to him, how we come off as teachers and stuff. And, I was just trying to explain to him about the birth charts and what I do. Because sometimes he would act like he was interested, and sometimes he was like, fuck that, I don't want to hear it. It was only when it could help him or stuff like that. Because I started noticing him coming over, and he started asking me questions like, what do you think about Pisces? Or what do you think about Aries? Or he'll say some shit like that. And I'd be like, hold up. Hold the fuck up. Like, you told me that you don't believe in this shit. So why are you asking me about a certain sign? Or why are you telling me that your family got these certain signs or whatever the fuck? Why are you telling me that you have 3 Cancer sons? Like, why are you telling me all this stuff? Why are you telling me that your fucking mom is a Cancer and you got 3 sons that are Cancers? Like, why you start telling me stuff for? And then I start even predicting stuff on his ass, like totally, like just telling him what was going to happen. I was like, man, you about to be a grandfather. He's like, no, I'm not. My sons are not into the streets. They're not into girls right now. They're just trying to do what they got to do. Psh, maybe 5 months later, his son got somebody pregnant, some random little ratchet rat. And I was like, okay. And I was like, okay, he want to tell me about his stepson. I was like, he about to get locked up. He was like, oh, no, he ain't. He was like, man, he don't even be out there like that. This motherfucker is doing motherfucking 5 years at this point. So it's like a whole bunch of stuff that was coming up, and he was like doubting my energy and stuff. And I'm like, hey, like, you might be with the wrong motherfucking chick. For real, you might be with the wrong person, because me and you ain't vibing spiritually, and you don't believe nothing that I'm saying, okay? Until it happens, okay? I started running shit down to him. He was like, oh, I got a Capricorn. I got 2 Capricorn baby moms. I started telling him about Capricorn, how they move, what they do. He kept denying it. Oh, man, my baby mama not like that. I said, oh, yeah, yes, there is. I'm like, man, she about to be doing this or doing that. He called me, told me one day all this stuff that was going on with her. I'm like, you see? Do you see? So it was like a whole bunch of crazy shit, man. He was telling me about a Gemini baby mama. Psh, I could just read that shit without even looking at the fucking cards. I'm like, listen, this is what's about to happen. He was like, nah, she ain't like that. Then he decided to go cheat, go on a fucking boat cruise with her motherfucking ass, and then he seen how her motherfucking ass was trying to fucking cheat on him and play him for his fucking friends. So it's like when you're with someone and you're not vibing with them and they like totally just shooting you down on time, that's a bad feeling. You just have to be with your fucking match. Let's say that. That's why he was my false twin. So let's get on my fucking new person. I don't even say he knew, because I've been with him since fucking 2017. And we got married in 2018. So let's switch off to that with the real twin flame. He ain't never questioned me about shit. You know what I mean? Like, he's totally tapped in spiritually and never complained about nothing. And definitely actually has a nickname for me. He calls me his prophet. So it's like, okay, thank you, for acknowledging who I am. Because, when you're on the wrong side, you're going to be feeling real bad. You know what I mean? And he was very helpful. Let me tell you what this, listen, when I got married and I left my false twin, let me tell you what my false twin did to my real twin. Ooh, wee. Man. I got to change the title to this video. But anyways, my false twin, which is the Taurus, he's a Taurus, Aquarius rising, Mercury and Gemini, Gemini cusper. He's a Gemini cusper too. See all that Gemini shit. So anyways, he went on Facebook and he waited for my husband to comment on something or post anything on Facebook. and he commented on his page and he told him that he would never be with me. He told him that he was going to kill him. He told him he was going to beat his ass if he ever seen him. And then he told him actually to come meet him somewhere so he could fight him. And then then he told him about my tattoo. Let's bring up the subject of the tattoo. I my dumb ass, when I was all falling in love with my false twin, I went out and I fucking purchased a motherfucking tattoo on my motherfucking bare motherfucking chest of this bitch ass motherfucker, and his name was on my fucking chest for years. He told my husband, like, the name you see on her chest, it stays. It's not going anywhere. So I was like, oh hell no, this motherfucker really think I like him like that. For real, for real. I'm like, this motherfucker dumb as a bitch. So I'm like, that shit is leaving. Every time I looked at that motherfucker, I got disgusted after I left my false twin. So my real twin is looking at the tattoo like, oh, that motherfucker's tattoo is still there. Like, why is it still there? Why is it still there? I'm like, I'm going to get it removed. I kept telling him I'm going to get it off because it doesn't mean nothing to me, you know. So again, he contacted my ex again, and he was just bothering him, nitpicking him, making up stuff about him. Um, my false twin was like really dealing with a lot of self-hate, childhood issues, depression, baby mama drama, all type of stuff. So the opposite of him is my real twin. So the real twin ain't going through none of that shit. I mean, none of it. I mean, if he was going through any type of shit, it was minor, like really small to the point that I don't even pay attention to it. It's like nothing, So he was mad. He was like, why you like him? So the false twin started talking shit about the real twin, like his ugly ass. So I'm like, ugly ass? Like, what the fuck? He's looking at his pictures and shit. He's so fucking jealous that he's looking at his fucking pictures on Instagram or Facebook and everything else. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, he look better than you. Like, he got a better body. Like, he looked totally better than you. For real, for real. And another thing that pissed him off is that he was younger than him because he's 5 years younger than me, my real twin flame. So, yeah, when you got a twin flame, they may be younger than you. They may live in different countries. They may be going through divorces. They might be going through a whole bunch of different shit. You just may not know when you're meeting your twin. You know what I mean? So, I was just telling somebody the other day that, in the beginning of twin flame connections, it's very, very rough because you don't even believe who they is, or you don't know exactly what why they was placed in your life. So it's gonna be really rough. So yeah, when I look back at the situations, I'm just like, wow, like he was really trying to tear down the whole thing. Because my false twin, he cheated on me so many times I can't even count on my fingers. Like shit, he didn't count. He didn't fucking cheated over fucking 10 times or some shit. And then when I got married, he was like, no, baby, like don't leave me. Start crying and all this other stuff. Like divorce him. And when he found out he was African, he was really mad. Like he just wanted to hate himself. I'm like, we all black up in this motherfucker. Like, he was mad. He was mad at Africa. He was mad at every fucking thing. You know what I mean? So he was pissed the fuck off. Like, he hated the history of Africa, like everything. Like he would even be spiteful sometimes. Like if I was watching TV, he'd take the remote from me and he'd just switch it to some African shit and put it on there, to piss me the fuck off, you know, because I went through separation from my real twin, backtracking with my false twin because my false twin was trying to he was trying to force me to believe that he was the real one. And it was really crazy because he kept saying, like, you ain't supposed to be with him. Like, it's supposed to be us. We supposed to be married. And if I cheated on you, I want you to forgive me. I don't want you to, move on with your life. I want to actually cheat on you and I want you to stay with me and just forgive me. So I was like, oh, no. I couldn't do it. I'm like, after somebody cheated on you and had multiple children on you, it's going to be hard to do something like that. And before I left him, he had brought the karmic child around me too, which was his son. And I got to meet him for the first time, and it was just crazy. And I just looked at the situation like, wow, like he's very comfortable introducing me to the karmic child, knowing what he'd done to me. And that was a hard pill to swallow. So, yeah, it got pretty rough. But don't ever let nobody tear down your new relationship after they cheated on you. Don't ever let nobody convince you that you can't do better and that you can't find better, you know? So, yeah, that's why I recorded this video today, because I just wanted to go in on some stuff and how I kept meeting the same signs and repeating the same patterns and stuff like that. That's how you know that you're going down the wrong path, when people still have that same energy in them and you know that you're not compatible with it. And that's how I knew that I wasn't compatible with Aquarius, because I dealt with too many different kinds and they were all just fucked up. So something just told me one day, don't fuck with Aquarius. And my real twin, he don't have Aquarius in his birth chart at all. And I'm like, hallelujah. Like for real, for real. Like I am so happy he has no Aquarius placements. And I'm enjoying myself. I'm just having someone like him in my life, because he brings a lot of happiness towards me. I will be like posting pictures of him one day so you can see my real twin. A lot of people say we look alike and everything, and we always have a very good connection, you know. And I ain't letting nobody fuck that shit up. I don't give a fuck who you are out there. You're not fucking up my connection. Yeah, it's definitely when you're with a real twin, you know, it's like I was telling y'all before, it is a great level, the highest level of a fucking understanding that you will ever have. It's not gonna just make you sad all the fucking time. Even if you did feel sad about something, your twin is coming in with all the positivity that you can ever ask for. Okay? So, with that being said, I will be back again in record. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'm not done. I'm going to be on here for a long time, y'all. I'm going to do this until I can't do it no more. So, talk to y'all later.